All right. All right. So shall we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So in the meantime, people will join.
Yes, sir.
Last time we were talking about self-awareness, isn't it? And we did some part one, part two, self awareness through journaling, right? And you also did some kind of a journaling, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So in continuation to that, as I told the participants last time, that there are 5 tools, precisely 5 tools for using the self-awareness or increasing the degree of self-awareness. So उसी को हम आगे थोड़ा सा लेके जाते हैं. And when I talk about self-awareness, so just to have a little bit of recap, so let us understand थोड़ा सा सेल्फ अवेयरनेस के बारे में हमने बात करी, पिछले 2 टाइम से हम बात कर रहे हैं. Riya, if I can ask you, what exactly you are experiencing in terms of self-awareness? आपने तो कुछ काम भी किया है, you have been journaling also.
Sir, actually, we come to know deep about oneself without judging oneself. That what is like. Honestly, I would like to accept in YouTube also live stream also that I am quite emotionally driven. So I've come to know about it. I'm very emotionally driven. And so you come to know about the strengths and weaknesses, and I mean you are like the third person judging your own self instead of, I mean, not analyzing your own, not even judging. So
Right.
you know what your strengths are, what your emotions are, and so I think you went it out also, because even if you have a grudge against your friend or someone, you can't always tell them in front of them.
Okay.
So, and then I think you are aware that okay, I'm not okay. Like you don't pretend to be okay, whereas inside you have having an upheaval of emotions. So I think journaling helps in that. Like to be okay about not being okay, to be okay being sad, like because of toxic
It's
positivity.
okay. It's okay to be not okay. Right. Okay. So good. First of all, I appreciate your efforts in terms of whatever assignments is being given. You are आप कर रहे हो उसको, and आपको कुछ results भी मिले हैं. So
Yes, sir.
right. So now, as I told you, कि journaling एक part है, ठीक है ना? Journaling is one part to आपके increase the degree of your or level of your self-awareness. Now, let me share the screen. Now, journaling is one part. Now, mindfulness is one part. Maybe listening skills is one part, right? Asking for feedback is one part. And creating space and time for oneself is one part, right? Good morning, Udayji. All right. So जब हम बात करते हैं different tools की, जिससे हमारी self-awareness बढ़े, right? So उसी को हम आगे लेके चलते हैं different tools के. उसमें journaling एक tool है, एक बहुत अच्छा, बहुत major tool है, right? So since you are journaling, you people are in process of journaling, I'm sure that people have started it. जिन्होंने नहीं start किया वो start करें, तो ये मेरा कहना है. So let me share my screen and now come to the topic कि एक और tool की जब हम बात करते हैं, let me see. Okay. All right. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. We can see your screen.
All right. Now the topic says creating space and time for self-awareness, right? So what does it mean? What does it mean? Does it mean to you something? कुछ दिमाग में आता है when I ask you कि हमें अपने space और time create करना है self-awareness के लिए, right? So any thought which comes up in your mind? Anyone? Creating space and time for self-awareness. क्या हमारे पास कुछ space है physically और mentally, और क्या हम उस time हम उसके लिए हम निकाल पाते हैं? What is the importance of time in terms of increasing our self-awareness. Self-awareness is a very, very important thing for us to know about ourselves, and accordingly, जब तक हम अपने आप को जानेंगे नहीं, जब तक हम अपने अंदर चीजों को जानेंगे नहीं, then we will not be able to take the action accordingly in our even in our daily life, right? So इसी concept को आगे लेके चलते हैं, creating space and time for self-awareness. So let us understand this. So just to take you back, what actually is self-awareness? जो लास्ट टाइम भी मैंने बात की थी, उससे लास्ट टाइम भी बात की थी, बिल्कुल सेम वही मैं रिकैप कर रहा हूं आपके, जस्ट फॉर योर कन्वीनियंस, दैट सेल्फ अवेयरनेस is a conscious knowledge of one's own character, one's own feelings, one's own desires and motives, right? Self-awareness is the ability to focus on yourself, that how your action, thoughts or emotions either do align or do not align to your internal standards which you have already set. All right. And if somebody is highly self-aware, then he or she is able to manage their emotions, align their behaviors according to their own set standards or values, and understand how others perceive you, right? Simply put, those who are highly self-aware can interpret their actions, feelings, and thoughts objectively. They can take their actions there and they take the results also out of it, right? So वो अपने आप को बहुत अच्छे से जानते हैं, right? So this is all about self-awareness. So ये मैंने slide सिर्फ इसलिए share की कि just to take you back. Now it's a skill. इसके डिग्रीज, इसके लेवल्स अलग अलग हो सकते हैं अलग अलग इंडिविजुअल्स में, राइट? बट इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस टू इंक्रीज और हैव सेल्फ अवेयरनेस, राइट? बिकॉज इट इज पार्ट ऑफ आवर ग्रोथ, it's part of our personal development, right? So 5 ways, ये भी मैंने लास्ट टाइम बताया था, 5 ways to increase your self awareness, जिसमें हमने एक पे काम किया है अभी, राइट? तो 5 ways में क्या है? सबसे पहला था create space and time, जिसमें connect with yourself daily, avoid digital distractions, crave out solitude. This is your create space and time, जिसपे हम बात करने वाले हैं. दूसरा क्या था? प्रैक्टिस माइंडफुलनेस. माइंडफुलनेस के कई सेशंस हमारे कॉन्शियसली पॉजिटिव सेशंस में हो चुके हैं, मॉर्निंग में भी और अदरवाइज भी. ऑलराइट, सो इन दैट mindfulness, what you do is you pay attention to an inner state of affairs, right, as it arises. Try mindful eating, walking and listening. And then थर्ड इज प्रैक्टिस लिसनिंग. लिसनिंग स्किल्स के भी सेशंस हमने यहाँ पे देखे हैं कॉन्शियसली पॉजिटिव में. डॉक्टर नुपुर श्रीवास्तव ने भी लिए हैं सेशंस, और भी लोगों ने सेशंस ये लिए हैं. तो यू आर ऑलरेडी इन दैट पर्टिकुलर जोन ऑफ बीइंग मोर सेल्फ अवेयर, राइट? सो मैं वो चीज उठा रहा हूँ. यहाँ तो ठीक है सब.
Yeah, we can hear you. I think it's an internet issue. So,
Ria, it is at your end. Please check that. All right. So, what I was talking about, that practice listening is the third way, right? Listening skills के बारे में भी हमने अपने sessions में बात करी, different sessions में भी बात करी, right? So, listening skills में practice listening, pay attention to the speaker, observe emotions and body language. Do not judge or evaluate. And then comes journal awareness, जो हमने last 2 times से हमने journaling करी अपने self awareness को बढ़ाने के लिए, right? So जब हम journaling करते हैं तो क्या होता है? You process your thoughts through writing, right? And we record our inner states. And next is gain a different perspective. For that we ask for the feedback. So these are the 5 steps or 5 ways to increase your self awareness. Now हमने last time journaling के बारे में बात की थी. Now what I'm going to do is we are talking on creating spaces, right? Creating spaces. Now when I talk about creating spaces for increasing the self awareness, right? So creating spaces का मतलब क्या? Creating spaces, physical as well as mental spaces. You need to have physical space, of course, where you can maybe you can find yourself some quiet space to sit and think about something which what is going on, right? So you need that kind of a physical space, or at the same time you should have a mental space also, right? So physical as well as mental. तो हम जब physical की बात करेंगे तो let's say maybe you're working, maybe where you have your own things. So at your desk, either with a journal or a sketchbook, right? So this is I'm talking about physical. We'll talk about the mental part also here. तो decluttering करनी है जैसे, तो this is part of your physical this thing, right? Now let's say on a meditation cushion, this is all physical. You have to review your gap in your lifestyle or schedule. Daily lifestyle क्या है आपका, daily schedule क्या है? So these are the small things which when you do it, you create spaces around you, right? Mentally and physically as well, right? Whatever given resources are with you. Okay. Now what you need to do is, when I talk about creating spaces and time for increasing the self-awareness or for self-awareness, let's talk about the spaces first, a mental, physical, whatever. So allow 5 to 10 minutes uninterrupted time to review these above mentioned aspects of your daily life. आप 5 से 10 मिनट समय निकालो रोज, right? अपने mental और physical spaces को check करने के लिए, right? So declutter yourself wherever you are working, whatever, where either you are a professional or a businessman or businesswoman, homemaker, whatever, it applies to everyone, right? So start decluttering things. Meditation की बात मैंने करी. So physically भी जब meditation करते हैं तो quiet space and all these things. So जब आप physically space बनाते हो तो mentally भी वो space बन जाता है, और vice versa, right? And what is your lifestyle? What is your daily lifestyle? What is your daily schedule? Always 5 to 10 minutes आपको अपने पास रखने हैं, right? To review all these things in your daily life. Now, start small. When I say that, maybe people may be doing it, may not be doing it, may be doing it in once in a while, may not be doing it all at all. So you need to start small and be consistent rather than aim big and unable to continue. So छोटे-छोटे steps में काम करना है अपने को, right? छोटे-छोटे steps में काम करना है, and you have to be consistent, right? Rather than कि हमने बहुत बड़ा एक aim ले लिया या एक बड़ी चीज कर दिया और उसके बाद हम consistent नहीं हुए, या we are unable to continue that, right? So small things you need to do, right? And but you need to do on a regular basis. So this is physical. तो mental का भी थोड़ा सा समझते हैं. So mentally, if I talk about mental, so यहाँ पे creating spaces mentally, let's say one part is you have to develop conviction. So conviction, mega, you have to view yourself and you have to relate to yourself. And how you view yourself and how you relate to yourself is the only basis कि आप interact करते हो दूसरों के साथ, आपका relationship दूसरों के साथ कैसा है, and you perceive things, you see things around you, right? So, and the more clearer and healthier this relationship is, the more it will reflect in most other places. So यहाँ पे what I'm trying to suggest is, or what I'm trying to say is that you have to view yourself and you have to relate to yourself often, right? Physically मैंने बात की, this is a mental thing. On जैसे ही आप relate करना शुरू करोगे to yourself, then you will see that your relationship with people and जो चीजें आपके आसपास है वो आप कैसे perceive करते हो, आपका relation आपके साथ कैसा है, उसी की सोच से या उसी के आप उसको कह लो कि उसी दायरे से निकल के आएगा, उसी सोच से निकल के आएगा, उसी perception से निकल के आएगा, right? So the more clear you are about this relationship, the more it will reflect in your other spaces also, whether it is your professional relationship, personal relationship, whatever, right? Developing conviction is an essential element to retaining motivation. So spend time with this thought, right? So you have to, in order to increase the degree of your self-awareness, you have to develop conviction. And when you start developing conviction by perceiving, by आप जो inner जो आपका relationship आपके साथ है अपना, right? उसके द्वारा आप देखते हो आपके आसपास के सारी चीजें, लोग, objects, whatever, right? So develop, यहाँ पे conviction develop करना एक important tool है, right? जिससे you'll be more motivated, your motivation level will be more. So this thought needs to be taken care of whenever you are there's so you have to be you have to develop conviction in order to create spaces mentally. So physically मैंने बात की, mentally मैंने बात करी, right? Any questions till now? Anything which needs clarification, you can always ask me. You can stop me and ask me, right? Okay, otherwise I feel that आपको समझ में आ रहा है. अगर नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, कुछ clarification है तो ask me, interrupt me and ask me. There's no issue at all. Okay, all right. So this is about developing conviction. Now, explore our view on who we are. Self-awareness की हम बात कर रहे हैं, तो we need to know ना who we are. So level of degree, maybe degree of self-awareness, कोई कहीं पे है, कोई level 1 पे है, कोई level 2 पे है, level 3 पे है, right? So let us explore our view. हमारा अपने बारे में हमारा क्या view है, हम who we are. None of us is perfect. हम लोग कोई भी perfect नहीं है, but the good news is that you are not alone. We are on the same boat. We are on the same boat. Nobody is perfect. But the better news is that none of us is fixed or static either. हम लोग static भी नहीं है और fixed नहीं है. So we are always constantly growing and evolving. You are seeing yourself, right? Even a smaller part of it. Even आपने एक step लिया, but you are evolving. Every day you are evolving, right? You are attending session, you are coming in the consciously positive sessions, right? So maybe, and at your level, you are growing, constantly growing every day, har pal, right? But can we examine the growth and shifts in our mind during this time? जब हम grow कर रहे हैं, जब हम छोटे-छोटे steps ले रहे हैं, constantly evolve कर रहे हैं, तो क्या हम अपने growth को examine कर सकते हैं उस time पे? Maybe the baggage we may be carrying or the concerns we may have at that point of time, can gently work on them so that we don't weigh heavily on us all the time. So जब हम अपने ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं, तो we need to examine our growth in our mind. कि आज मेरी क्या growth हुई है? What is the status of my growth? How do I evolve a better person, maybe, right? And constantly working on yourself, ताकि आप कोई limiting belief या कोई आप baggage carry ना करो, right? Now, for instance, we can simply recognize errors that we have made, accept them without blaming others. Simple, right? But हम क्या करते हैं? We do the opposite, right? We start blaming people. We start blaming situations. So we can simply recognize errors that we have made, accept them without blaming others or events, genuinely regret our action and take simple step towards making amendment. वहां से amendment करनी है, but हम क्या है उस cycle में रह जाते हैं कि हम we keep on blaming, we keep on reacting rather than responding, right? And we don't take action, we don't take जो corrective actions हम नहीं लेते. तो हमें यहाँ पे अपने errors को recognize करना है, उनको उसको accept करना है, किसी को blame नहीं करना है, किसी situation को blame नहीं करना है, किसी person को blame नहीं करना है, किसी event को blame नहीं करना है कि इसकी वजह से ऐसा हुआ था, इसकी वजह से मुझे ऐसा हो गया, whatever, right? Because you are powerless on other situations and other people. And at the same time, you have to recognize your actions, take corrective actions. So this is you need to explore your view on who you are. It applies to every one of us. It applies to me also, you also, everyone, 7-8 people here, everyone. Right? Now, creating spaces to or space to check in with yourself. वो कहते हैं ना, you must have seen, you must have seen, let me check in, let me check in. कोई बीमार है तो let me check in with you. कोई कॉल आता है आपको, आप कहते हो I just call you to check in with you, that how are you? Or you go to meet somebody, no, maybe your neighbor or maybe your friend, your relative, and you say, I just came to check in, how are you doing, how we are going, whatever, right? So this is what you are doing. You're creating spaces, right? So there are certain things you need to keep in mind when I'm talking about. And when you do this, what they're doing, this is a tool for increasing your self-awareness, right? So self-awareness बढ़ती चली जाएगी आपकी जब आप. So check in with yourself. There are certain things which you can you can do, or you do. Maybe you may do or you may not do right now. So that's what we do with others we care about, right? We check in with them. Even if it's a quick, just checking on to see you, how are you doing, how you are going. I just said, checking in with yourself is a self-care. It's a self-care, and it's also a practice that cultivates self-awareness. And हमको self-awareness to cultivate करना ही है ना, right? In order to take the right decisions, right action in your life. So जब तक अपने आप को हम जानेंगे नहीं, हम actions कौन से अच्छे हैं, कौन से बुरे हैं, वो कैसे ले पाएंगे अपने आप को ध्यान में रखते हुए, right? So checking in with yourself is an act of self-care. It's also a practice that cultivates self-awareness. Checking in with yourself involves taking a conscious break from the noise around you, right? Cluttering हो रही है आपके पास, but you are taking a conscious break from those noise, and you are turning your attention inward. जब आप inward होते हो, when you go deeper down inside, then you come to know about yourself, right? What exactly you want, what exactly you want to do, right? What are your emotions? What are your comfort feeling? What are your thoughts? Anything. When you go down, it will give you message. So checking in with yourself involves taking a conscious break from the noise around you and turning your attention inward. Now, it's a chance to reconnect. Yes, जैसे मैंने बोला, thoughts. It's a chance to reconnect with your thoughts, emotions, and inner needs. It's all too easy to become disconnected. It's very, very easy to become disconnected. हम अपने authentic self से disconnect बड़े आराम से हो जाते हैं, right? And जब तक हम inner नहीं जाएंगे, जब तक हम अपने thoughts को, emotions को और inner needs को reconnect नहीं करेंगे, तब तक we'll not be able to increase the self-awareness, our self-awareness, right? So it's too easy to become disconnected from our authentic selves and become disconnected from our desires, dreams, and even our basic needs, right? So how to check in with yourself? अब बात ये आती है, you can ask this question, right? आपके दिमाग में ये question आया होगा या आ सकता है, अगर नहीं आया तो. So how to check in with yourself? जब मैं कह रहा हूँ कि creating spaces के लिए अब you have to check in with yourself, right? So I've given you a perspective. Now, how to check in? This is an obvious question, isn't it? Yes or no? Right? So check in कैसे करना है? So there must be some standards, there must be some rules, there must be some solutions, some tools, right? So let's look into that. How to check in with yourself? Firstly, it does not need to be complicated or it's even take very long. ये कोई बहुत complicated चीज नहीं है, right? Now it can be as simple as taking a few minutes to check on how you are on the inside. right? How you're feeling, your thoughts, your emotions, right? Your feelings. So it can be as simple as taking a few minutes to check on how you are on the inside. To begin with, take a few long, deep breaths to center your attention. You can do that, right? It will take you inside. We always, हम कहते हैं ना, जब भी हम सेशन स्टार्ट करते हैं या मेडिटेशन करते हैं या मेडिटेशन को स्टार्ट करते हैं, we do deep breathing, isn't it? Breathing के ऊपर पूरा सेशंस हम लोगों ने किया हुआ है, right? There are sessions on breathing. So deep breathing किस लिए? To center your attention, to going deeper into self, deeper down into self, so that you are able to know, you have to check in. You're creating space for yourself, right? And when you're creating space, what you're doing is you are creating more self-aware. You're becoming more self-aware about your needs, your thoughts, your emotions, your energy levels, right? Your body. So to begin with, take a few long deep breaths to center your attention. Then gently and supportively ask yourself some reflective questions. Some reflective questions. ये questions आपको पूछने हैं अपने आप से हर रोज. Such as, how am I feeling? What am I feeling? How am I feeling? मैं कैसे क्या मेरी feelings क्या है, कैसी है? मेरी feelings क्या है? What I am feeling? How is my body feeling? You have to check in. See, these are the check-ins. जैसे journaling में prompt देता हूं ना मैं आपको, prompt करने के लिए, इसी यही तरह से ये prompt है check-in करने के लिए, right? How am I feeling? What I am feeling? How is my body feeling? What has been going through my mind? मेरे mind में क्या चल रहा है? What is this all about? क्या cluttering हो रही है mind में, right? Remember to listen to your own answers. My answers can be different, your answers can be different. It can be same, it can be different. But the key here is to be curious about and open to what you discover about self. So be excited, be curious always to know more about yourself. And when you ask these questions, let me assure you, when you try this at your end, you'll come to know, आप अपने आप के बारे में हर बार एक नई चीज जानोगे. Every time when you do it, you will come to know about yourself some new things. And then you will be surprised कि अच्छा, I have this also, right? ये मैं हूं क्या, right? So these are certain things, certain questions you have to ask, certain reflective questions you have to ask to check in with yourself. Now, what you are doing is you are creating spaces, you're checking in. So if you have a little more time, find a quiet space where you can sit and in solitude or in silence, right? मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ कि when you get up in the morning, when you get up, the first thing what you need to do is 5 minutes आपने अपने आप को देने हैं. You just don't have to do anything. Just sit on your bedside. बैठ जाओ bedside पे. 5 मिनट कुछ नहीं, आपको कुछ नहीं करना है. Just be in that moment solitude में. वो 5 मिनट आपके जो सुबह आप लगाओगे, 5 मिनट जो आप अपने बेडसाइड पे बैठोगे, वो आपको होल डे का पूरा रिफ्लेक्शन आपको रात को पता लगेगा. And the energy will gain from just for 5 minutes. Because वो उस टाइम जो सेल्फ अवेयरनेस आपको होगी अपने बारे में, just have to don't have to do nothing, although it's very difficult sometimes, right? So you have to if you have a little more time, find a quiet space where you can sit alone. या इसके बारे में और भी बात करूंगा मैं, right? Where in your during the daytime also, how can you find solitude, right? Now grab a journal. So journaling को मैंने छोड़ा नहीं है, right? So grab a journal and open a note, whatever. आपने फोन पे नोटपैड निकाल लो, उसमें लिखना शुरू कर दो. and spend some time writing down the answers of those reflective questions. जो reflective questions मैंने ऊपर बताया आपको, how am I feeling, what am I feeling, how is my body feeling, what's been going through my mind, what it is all about. Start writing also, right? और there is a tool, मैं इसी सेशन में आपको बताऊंगा 5 minutes journaling के बारे में, right? So remember that this is not about constructing a perfect sentence. मैं हमेशा ये बोलता हूँ कि आपको कोई perfect grammar, कोई perfect sentence नहीं बनाना है. Just you have to write, right? Grab a journal, grab a pen, maybe on your phone, notepad. Start reflecting these answers, right? It's all about reflecting what is happening inside you, right? And you describe in your own words. जैसे जितना अच्छे से जितना authentically आप कर सकते हो, right? And alternatively, engage in activities that usually help you reconnect with your inner self. So जो भी activity आपको लगता है कि it will connect you to your inner self, it's more important to connect with your inner self. It can be journaling, it can be some other activity, it can be ABC, whatever you feel like, right? Maybe you can somebody can draw a painting or something. Anything any activity which is reconnecting you to your deeper self, to your inner self. Start doing that. It's also a part of check-in with yourself. Now, the key is to create space for self-reflection. So, आप यहाँ पे क्या कर रहे हो? You are creating self-reflection के लिए space बना रहे हो. That's what I meant about this topic, creating spaces, right? So the key is to create space for self-reflection and introspection. And what is self-awareness? Self-awareness का मैंने पहला slide में यही बात की थी, introspection, right? Consciously aware of how you are, how your thoughts are, your emotions are, isn't it? So what it is is increasing your self-awareness. आप अपने बारे में, खुद के बारे में जान रहे हैं, right? Where you can attentively listen to your inner voice without any expectations or without any judgments. Very important to be non-judgmental and having no expectations at all, right? So 5-minute journal की मैंने बात की थी, तो 5-minute journal, try and find out 5 minutes anytime, whole day, before you retire or maybe even before you go to bed. So पूरे दिन में I am sure कि जिन लोगों को journaling और journal करने में दिक्कत होती है या नहीं start कर पा रहे हैं, right? मेरा सिर्फ इतना submission है, and this is my humble submission. If you do it, this is called 5-minute journaling. Nothing more, nothing less. 5 minute journal कर लो, right? और उसमें क्या करना है? उसमें करना है reflect and ask these questions. जो मैं creating spaces की बात कर रहा हूं, तो 5 minute journal को अगर आप combine कर लोगे, right? Although हमने journaling की पूरा topic हमने last time cover किया था, but reflect, ask and journal these questions. How am I doing? जो वहां पे reflective questions है, वही same चीजें almost आपको 5-minute journal में मिल रही हैं. यही करना है. और कुछ टेक्निकलिटीज है ही नहीं. इट्स अ सिंपल थिंग. नॉन जजमेंटल भी, कोई एक्सपेक्टेशंस मत रखो. जस्ट डू इट. मेरे कहने से कर लेना अगर नहीं किया तो, राइट? हाउ एम आई डूइंग, व्हाट इज ऑन माय माइंड. दीज आर द फ्यू क्वेश्चंस आपको पूछने अपने आप से, और आपको रिफ्लेक्ट करना है और आपको लिखना है, जर्नल करना है. 5 मिनट, ज्यादा नहीं. How am I doing? What is on my mind? How I am feeling? What am I excited about? And what am I anxious about? ये 5 क्वेश्चन, 5 मिनट 5 क्वेश्चन. रिफ्लेक्ट करो और लिखो. सो पूरे दिन में आप इतना तो कर सकते हो, isn't it? Yes or no? 5-minute journaling कर सकते हैं ना? Right. So reflect, ask and journal these questions. how am I doing, what is in my mind, how am I feeling, what am I excited about, what am I anxious about. It will take care of all your, when I'm saying creating spaces, it will take all your worries, it will take your, you will be more aware कि आपको क्या क्या कहाँ कहाँ प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, राइट, किससे प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, आपकी फीलिंग क्या है, व्हाट इज योर एनर्जी लेवल, हाउ इज बॉडी इज रिस्पॉन्डिंग, how you are you feeling uncomfortable, right, are you feeling comfortable, right. You'll be able to know a lot of things about yourself. But the irony is that in spite of we having knowledge कि हमको ये करना है, हम करते नहीं, implementation नहीं है, इसलिए breakthrough नहीं है, right. I'm not saying कि सभी को नहीं है, right, but somewhere or the other we have to start, no, isn't it? So this is a 5-minute journal tool you can always apply in your life. Now, all right, now create some extra spaces each day. कैसे कर सकते हैं? This is a very ये बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें हैं. एक्स्ट्रा स्पेस वही 24 घंटे हम, जब हम फिजिकल स्पेसेस की अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं, राइट, मेंटली भी बात की मैंने, फिजिकली भी बात की, तो लेट्स एक्सप्लोर लिटिल मोर इनटू इट. क्रिएट सम एक्स्ट्रा स्पेसेस ईच डे. कैसे कर सकते हैं? सबसे पहला, नैप. आफ्टरनून नैप का एक कंसेप्ट है, राइट. I don't know if you are aware of it. People who are usually 10 मिनट लोग दिन में सोते हैं आफ्टरनून में, राइट. अगर आप ये प्रैक्टिस कर पाए तो इट विल बी वेरी गुड फॉर यू. यू विल बी, आपने आधा दिन काम किया, वट एवर यू आर डूइंग, प्रोफेशन, लेट्स कीप द प्रोफेशन असाइड, राइट. आधा दिन काम किया, आफ्टरनून में 10 मिनट का ब्रेक लिया, 10 मिनट का ब्रेक लिया, नैप ली 10 मिनट की, पावर नैप उसको बोलते हैं, पावर नैप ली, 10 मिनट में यू विल बी फ्रेश, so you'll have more space each day, right. Your productivity will go high. Now wake 15 minutes earlier than usual. हम 6 बजे उठते हैं, हम क्या, हम 5:30 बजे, 6:45 बजे उठ सकते हैं क्या? या हम 7 बजे उठते हैं, हम 6:45 उठ सकते हैं क्या? Getting extra space each day, 15 मिनट, right. And just imagine, just कि 15 मिनट पहले उठने से, just waking up 15 minutes before than usual or earlier than usual, आपका कितना टाइम आगे स्पेस आपकी क्रिएट हो रही है उस पूरे दिन में. एंड व्हाट यू नो एट अ फिजिकल लेवल भी, मेंटल लेवल भी, दोनों भी बात करो, हाउ योर, आपके पूरा पर्सपेक्टिव चेंज हो जाएगा, आपके पूरे इमोशंस चेंज हो जाएंगे, आपकी पूरी प्रोडक्टिविटी चेंज हो जाएगी. एंड इट ऑल इंटरलिंक्ड, राइट. मेक 15 minutes earlier than usual. इट्स जस्ट कि आपको थोड़ी सी हैबिट में लाना पड़ेगा ये चीज, राइट. नाउ गेट आउटडोर्स इवन फॉर अ शॉर्ट वॉक. बाहर निकल जाओ, शॉर्ट वॉक करो. गेट आउटडोर्स, डोंट बी इंडोर्स. अगर आप इंडोर हैं, अगर आप इंडोर काम कर रहे हैं, टेक ए ब्रेक फॉर 10 minutes, गो आउट फॉर ए शॉर्ट वॉक. Now flip the off switch. Flip the off switch का मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब ये है, हमारा ऑन एन एवरेज हम 100 minutes लगाते हैं टीवी देखने में. अननेसेसरी चीजों को हम भरते रहते हैं अपने दिमाग में. सो मेरा ये कहना है कि आप बिल्कुल खत्म मत करो, धीरे धीरे. लेट्स से कि अगर आप 4 सीरियल देखते हो, 1 सीरियल देखो, या 3 सीरियल देखो, एक धीरे धीरे खत्म कर दो. नो, डोंट स्पेंड योर टाइम, एनर्जी इन अननेसेसरी थिंग्स, जो कि आपको, यू आर गैदरिंग क्लटर, अननेसेसरी इंफॉर्मेशंस, अननेसेसरी न्यूज. 24 hours टीवी चलता रहता है. डोंट डू दैट. राइट इसका अभी मेरे पास डेटा नहीं है, इसका डेटा भी था, आई विल शेयर यू द डेटा आल्सो सम टाइम, आफ्टर सम टाइम ग्रुप में डाल दूंगा कि कितने ये लोग कितना टाइम वेस्ट करते हैं सोशल मीडिया पे, राइट, व्हाट्सएप पे और टेलीविजन पे, स्पेशली यहाँ पे टेलीविजन की बात कर रहा हूं मैं, राइट। तो लिमिट योर टाइम with these technology, right? It's not necessary, it's not required. Now salvage the commute. Salvage the commute का मतलब क्या है कि see, try and find out the solution. अगर आपको ज्यादा लंबा commute करते हो आप, right, तो try and avoid the commute. अब कोई professional है, उसको जाना पड़ता है, right, let us say कि he or she has to commute. So आप अपना टाइम, मतलब जो commuting time है, let's say somebody may be having driver or somebody may be driving on its own, on his or her own. So वो टाइम कैसे यूटिलाइज किया जा सकता है, उस पे हमको फाइंड आउट करना है, राइट। एंड ट्राई कि अगर कम्यूट ना, आजकल तो आफ्टर कोरोना मोस्टली पीपल हु आर वर्किंग, सारी चीजें हाइब्रिड हो गई हैं, राइट। सो शॉर्टर योर कम्यूट, द शॉर्टर कम्यूट जितना भी उतना होगा, उसको उसी हिसाब से आप चलाओ। So make sure that your commute, when you are commuting to your work or commuting to somewhere else, right, commute in a way where अगर आपको जाना ही है तो वो दौरान वो पीरियड जो है उसको आप कैसे यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं, इंक्रीजिंग द डिग्री ऑफ सेल्फ अवेयरनेस। मे बी if you are with your driver, if somebody else is driving, you can read, right, you can write something, you can do 5-minute journaling, isn't it? So salvage your commute. Take a longer lunch. Now people in corporate will say that no, you're going in a wrong direction. But I've seen in corporates, usually मैं corporates का example इसलिए देता हूँ कि I've been interacting with people and interacting with employees in corporates. See, take a longer lunch. Especially MNCs में ये culture है कि even if you are taking little longer time during the lunch, people don't mind. राइट, बिकॉज वहां पे आप अपनी एनर्जी को रिकनेक्ट करते हो, राइट, you get lot of time to think about yourself, right? So and when you have that particular time, आपका एक आधा दिन निकल चुका होता है, right? And when you are having lunch, you are having lot of thoughts, so idea is कि आप अगर आप longer lunch करते हो, so it will give you a lot of perspective about yourself, right? Even if it is even if you are in working mode, right, you'll be able to understand about yourself much better. Now enjoy afternoon tea. These are things where few people may be doing it. Enjoy afternoon. This is recommended to have a green tea, right? Enjoy afternoon tea. There are people afternoon tea, late afternoon around 3:34, they have their tea, right? So enjoy afternoon tea. It will also give you a lot of perspective. When I'm saying a lot of perspective, then when you are sipping your tea, I know you might think about yourself. See, आप जिस level से मैं बात कर रहा हूँ उसको समझने की कोशिश करना, right? It engages in your thinking process, your self-awareness process, right? So why on the prima facie it may not look like you're taking a longer lunch or enjoying your afternoon tea, also reflects on self-awareness, but it does. एक बार try करके आप देखना, and then you come back to me on this, that how was your experience in that. Now set aside time for meditation. Very, very important for self-awareness, for creating extra space each day. Set aside time for meditation. Even if you're working, even if you're outside of your house, right? See, I'll tell you about myself. What used to happen that when I was in job, I used to go when जो lunch होता था, I learned Shunya meditation from Isha Yoga, Sadhguru ji, right? तो उन्होंने शून्य मेडिटेशन जो सिखाया था, उनका ये कहना था कि कभी भी आप दिन के किसी भी टाइम आप 5 मिनट निकालो और आंखें बंद करके बैठ जाओ. नथिंग, आपको कुछ भी नहीं करना है. मैं एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं. पीपल कैन डू डिफरेंट थिंग्स फॉर मेडिटेशन. सो मैं अपने बारे में बता रहा हूं. व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू डू इज दैट इन द आफ्टरनून आई यूज्ड टू गो टू द पार्किंग लॉट में मेरी गाड़ी खड़ी होती थी. गाड़ी में बैठ गया, एसी चलाया, कंफर्टेबल किया टेम्परेचर को, एंड 5 मिनट्स जस्ट सिट, 5 मिनट मेडिटेशन. And after that, you feel so good. And rest of the day, it goes like, very smooth. So set aside time for meditation. So different people, different times, different time zones, different suitability. Morning में करनी है, afternoon में करनी है, evening में करनी है. But set aside time for meditation. It will give you some extra space every day, right? Take a longer shower. वो कहते हैं कि जो अच्छे अच्छे आइडियाज आते हैं, ऐसे ही नहीं बनी कहावतें, राइट? अच्छे अच्छे आइडियाज आते हैं वो बाथरूम में ही आते हैं. Isn't it? You must have experienced this. लोगों को कहते सुना होगा, आपस में आप लोग बात करते हो, right? Take a longer shower. It's true, because at that point of time there is a time for self-reflection, self-discovery, self-awareness. You can increase the level of your self-awareness. So creating extra space each day. Remove mindless internet. This is very, very important. As I said, mindless internet, WhatsApp पे लगे हुए हैं, किसी ने मैसेज भेजा, उसका रिप्लाई दिया, उसने आगे डिबेट शुरू करी, किसी पॉलिटिक्स में आ गए, एंड ये ठीक है, वो ठीक है, काउंटर क्वेश्चंस, काउंटर क्वेश्चंस. Don't engage in all that. Right? We do it often, isn't it? In general. मैंने तो अब अपने WhatsApp को दिन में या 1 या 2 बार देखता हूं. Remove this particular thing, mindless internet, and switch off your notifications. Turn off your notifications. Unnecessary notifications आती हैं आपकी, YouTube की आती हैं, Facebook की आती हैं. Then मैं खोल के देख लूं यार Facebook में किसने मुझे टैग किया, किसने मुझे. Once in a while it's okay, but when you are getting addicted to it, what you are doing is you are absolutely wasting your energy, time, and time for self awareness जिसमें लगना चाहिए था, वो unnecessary इन सब चीजों में जा रहा है. So these are the few things which you can do for extra space each day. So now there is a technique which I'll share it with you, right? आपने शायद कहीं पढ़ा भी हो, कहीं एक्सपीरियंस भी किया हो. This is called Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro technique. इसके जो Pomodoro technique जो है, it's a time management technique. It's developed by Francio Crillo. Maybe I'm pronouncing wrong or something like that. 80s में ये डेवलप किया गया था. इसका सिंपल फंडा ये है, इसको सिंपल वे में समझना हमके ये है कि 25 मिनट का जो है ये हमारा टाइम फ्रेम होता है. मतलब हमारा जो दिमाग होता है वो 25 मिनट कांस्टेंट फोकस कर पाता है, बेस्ड ऑन द आइडिया दैट आवर माइंड वर्क्स बेस्ट इन 25 मिनट्स बर्स्ट. तो हमें अपने आप को 25 मिनट्स का बर्स्ट देना है. 25 मिनट्स मींस the technique goes like this. Decide on a task to be done. कोई टास्क आपने करना है, उसके लिए 25 मिनट रख लो आप. 25 मिनट के बाद आपको टाइमर लगा दो 25 मिनट के, उसके बाद 3 से 5 मिनट का ब्रेक लेना है. Even the psychologist or counselor says जिन बच्चों का फोकस कम है उनको यही बोलते हैं कि आप स्टडी 25 मिनट, बच्चे को बोलो 25 मिनट बैठ के पढ़ेगा और 25 मिनट के बाद वो 3 से 5 मिनट का ब्रेक ले लेगा. It goes into the same technique goes for the adults also, right? So take 3 to 5 minutes break. 25 मिनट का टाइम फ्रेम सेट करो, टाइमर लगाओ, 3 से 5 मिनट का ब्रेक लो, और फिर every 4 intervals take a longer breaks. 15 to 30 minutes. So this technique, maybe you are aware of. If you are not aware of, try and implement that. And share with me your experience if you are starting to do it. Now, what does taking time to yourself? हमने स्पेसेस की बात की, अब टाइम अपने लिए क्यों चाहिए? सबसे बड़ी चीज ये है कि अपने को टाइम हमारे लिए क्यों, अपने को why me time is required? Why it is important? What does taking time to yourself mean? क्या है? So find time for yourself means set time aside consciously. Consciously you are setting time aside. This time is your me time. You and your alone, not anybody else, not even your partner, not your kids, right? Not even those time जिसमें आपने वो वाला time नहीं है ये कि जिसमें आपने to do list बना ली, नहीं, right? So this is meant only for you and you alone, right? It's not meant to be time alone to catch up. Yeah, to do list नहीं करनी है यहाँ पे. And it's also not supposed to be time spent with your partner, as I said. So putting aside some time that is truly for yourself means that you get to spend more time doing your own thing. What you want to do, reflect on what you want to do. Not anybody, कौन क्या से सोच रहा है, कौन आपके बारे में क्या सोच रहा है, वो सब नहीं. आप अपने बारे में क्या सोचते हैं, आपको क्या करना है, right? What is true for you, right? And people who take time for themselves may get to urge to be productivity बहुत बढ़ जाती है, right? Because what self awareness बहुत होती है, self reflections बहुत होते हैं, then accordingly वो productivity पे किसी भी प्रोफेशन में हो आप, चाहे कुछ भी करते हो आप, चाहे आप होम मेकर हो, चाहे आप प्रोफेशनल हो, चाहे बिजनेसमैन हो, चाहे जॉब में हो, whatever. So if you practice this habit, practice this habit of truly taking your time out, not time out with to-do list कि मैंने ये टाइम लिया है, जैसे मैंने बताया कि ये मेरा अपना टाइम है, इसमें मैं ये 4 चीजें मैंने लिस्ट बना ली, ये करूंगी, नो, या ये करूंगा. Taking time for yourself is a form of your productivity. Got it? So that is why it is important for you, right? And that is why it means. So why it is taking time for yourself important? क्यों important है ये? Because there are several reasons. बहुत सारे reasons ऐसे हैं. Why should you incorporate taking time for yourself in your self-care plan? So जो आप self-care plan बनाया उसको कैसे implement करना है? क्या नहीं बनाया तो self-care plan बनाना है, right? First, these moments alone can give you time to process your thoughts and feelings. जिसकी हमने बात की, thoughts and feelings आएंगी तो self awareness बढ़ेगी, right? Plus if you see, especially अगर आप introvert हो तो alone time या me time जो है, it will give you much needed break to recharge your batteries, right? So आप next social interaction में जब जाओगे या next public से जब आप interact करोगे, लोगों से interact करोगे, it will be more helpful, you'll be more confident, right? So during your moments spent alone, you can also practice self-reflection and self-awareness. As I said earlier, you can begin to understand yourself more. There is no one else you need to perform or no one you need to impress. यहाँ पे आपको सिर्फ अपना और अपने बारे में सोचना है. You can just be yourself and observe whatever you feel like, or जो भी आपको you feel, you have to be with that, right? So that is how your me time has to be worked out. I'm not sure how many of you are taking me time. It's very, very important. People say on the face of it कि me time हमें चाहिए. But are you implementing those me time in your self-reflection or increasing your self-awareness? Now, in these moments of solitude, you can also start to understand what type of self-care you need. As I said, You can experiment with different things you want to try and see what works best for you. So these answers of your questions will come with these me times, taking time out, taking space and time out. Now, research has shown that choosing to spend time alone can have benefits such as boosting self-esteem, confidence की मैंने बात करी, right? And और भी research है, findings हैं जिसमें you start, you get more creative, you get more expressive, you get more freedom, you get more intimate, and you adopt the path of spirituality also at the same time. So you'll come to know about yourself a lot of things, and lot of inner voices will come. You'll be able to recognize those inner voices and you'll be able to implement in your daily life and just see the results after that. So in the last, I'll just give you 6 ways to connect with yourself every day, which you need to practice. And उसमें से एक assignment आपको मैं दूंगा, आप next week आप करना and then share with me. Begin each day by checking in with yourself. Check-in का मैंने पूरा आपको बताया. So सबसे पहला, you have to check in with yourself. Best thing is कि आप वो पहले start करो कि आपने 5 minutes जैसे ही उठना है 5 minutes silence में बैठना है, right? Check in with yourself. And धीरे धीरे उस practice को आप बढ़ाओ. Check in, always be in that mode of check in with yourself, right? Pay attention to your feelings, especially your triggers. It's very, very important to understand your feelings or pay attention to your feelings. What kind of emotions you are going through? Are you going through some good emotions, uncomfortable emotions? We did journaling on uncomfortable emotions, right? Right. So what kind of feeling you are going through? आपके triggers क्या है? कौन सी ऐसी चीज है जो कि जिससे कि आपके जो पेन एरियाज है वो बढ़ जाते हैं? ट्रिगर्स कौन कौन से हैं आपके लाइफ में? लिमिटिंग बिलीफ्स क्या क्या हैं? Right? Where are you stuck? Pay attention to those things. What is the kind of thought you come to? अगर मैं इस चीज के लिए ये करूंगा तो मुझे ये result मिलेगा, right? So try and understand and try and recognize your triggers. Pay attention. वो तभी होगा जब आप अपनी feelings पे काम करोगे. Pay attention to, follow your energy. I always say energy is everything, everything is energy, right? So कोई दिन तो ऐसा होता है आपका कि आप you're very powerful because your energy around you is very, very high, right? But some of the days you're very negative. Why? So because your energies are like that. So follow your energy. Try and identify those energy. कि ये energy मेरे आसपास ऐसी क्यों create हो रही है? You need to understand the energy. Even I'm taking this session, there is an energy going on here, right? So always follow that energy. Learn the language of your body and try and understand your body कि आपकी body की needs क्या है, आपकी body क्या reflect कर रही है. Do you understand your body well? मुझे क्या खाना है, क्या नहीं खाना है, मुझे कैसे सोना है, मुझे क्या मेडिटेशन करना है, मुझे बॉडी में कहाँ पे पेन है, क्यों पेन है, am I aware of it? Am I aware of it कि मुझे कौन सी एक्सरसाइज करनी है, कौन सा वर्कआउट करना है? तो लर्न. आपकी बॉडी आपसे बात करती है, बट द प्रॉब्लम इज कि हम उसकी बात सुन नहीं पाते हैं, राइट? सो ट्राई एंड अंडरस्टैंड कि आपकी बॉडी आपसे क्या कह रही है, राइट? सो इट्स वेरी, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, नाउ sit and just be. Sit and just be. Solitude की मैंने बात की. अब यहाँ पे you have to practice कि कुछ नहीं करना है. Practice nothing. Do nothing. ये कुछ नहीं करना, nothing वाला जो है ना, ये सबसे important है. Because mind will always be very, very, thoughts आएंगे जाएंगे. कहीं सिर्फ बैठना है, कुछ नहीं करना है. 5 मिनट 10 मिनट ये चीज अडॉप्ट करो आपकी, कुछ नहीं करना है. यू विल फील कि ये नहीं हो पाता है. 5 मिनट भी हम नहीं बैठ पाते कि हम कुछ ना करें. Even if you seem, if you, it feels that you're doing nothing, you're doing a lot of things, but you need to sit and you just have to be. That's all. So maybe next session मैं solitude की बात करूंगा, practice nothing को practice कैसे करना है ये भी बात करेंगे. Right. Write down your dreams. अगर अभी तक आपने अपने dreams नहीं लिखे हैं तो write down your dreams. It's very, very important. And mind you, my friends, dreams come true. Dreams come true. That's what your law of attraction says, right? Only thing is that those dreams की vibrations आपकी universe से मिलनी चाहिए. You know, universe gives everything to you. So write down your dreams, and that is your assignment also. Write down your dreams, right? So for the next week, when I meet you next, in this next 7 days, write down your dreams. This is my from my side, this is the assignment. Write down your dreams and find out. फिर हम इसके बारे में हम पूरा एक सेशन कर सकते हैं dreams के बारे में. So write down your dreams. So these are the 6 ways to connect with yourself every day. Needs to be done every day. Thank you so much. आपके कुछ questions हो तो I am open to it. Otherwise I am through. Anything, any questions, any clarifications, any doubt, any sharings? Thank you, Daji.
Thank you, Sandeep ji, for a wonderful session.
Thank
and
you
there
so
were
much.
so many practices that you mentioned.
Yeah. उसमें से मैं कह रहा हूँ कि आदमी 1 या 2 भी स्टार्ट कर लेना तो बहुत ज्यादा इफेक्ट आने लग जाएगा.
Yes.
Right. Thank you so much. कुछ पूछना है everyone?
Good morning, Sandeep ji.
Good morning.
Yeah, I just want to know how to get rid of procrastination. We all know all that you're talking. It's very, very beautiful that you explain so beautifully also. But still we say, अच्छा ठीक है अभी नहीं 5 minute बाद, you know, that 5 minute बाद thing continues, never happens.
Never happens. तो मैं यही कह रहा हूँ कि when you go deeper inside, अब वो 5 मिनट बाद क्यों होता है? मतलब लेट्स से कि आपने मैं इसीलिए तो स्पेस क्रिएट करने की बात कर रहा हूँ ना. ये सबसे पहला तो स्पेस फिजिकली एज वेल एज मेंटली आपको क्रिएट करना है, राइट? एंड यू विल आल्सो सी ये प्रोक्रास्टिनेशन इज अ वेरी वेरी मतलब कॉमन थिंग. ये हम करते हैं और अननोइंगली करते हैं, राइट? सो प्रोक्रास्टिनेशन किस लिए करते हैं? व्हेन यू सी डीपर डाउन, राइट, you're trying to do things, but somewhere the other वो एक हैबिट है कि मतलब ठीक है इसको हम बाद में कर सकते हैं, राइट? अच्छा कर देंगे, अच्छा अभी 10 मिनट में करते हैं, राइट? ये थॉट प्रोसेस को इस थॉट प्रोसेस को आपको इससे निकलना पड़ेगा. ऐसे कैसे निकलेंगे? इससे निकलेंगे कि when we are, that's why I've given example of me time creating spaces. जब आप बैठोगे अपने आप से बात करोगे, you will find answers for that. Why I'm doing this, right? So इस पे सबसे पहले आप इस पे काम करो, then see the second stage, that how do you feel, and then you still feel that procrastination का क्या status है, right? Then we can slowly come to that process, right?
Okay.
First you need to understand कि आप why try and find out. ये आपको एक दिन में आंसर नहीं मिलेगा. Let us try and sit with you. आप अपने आप के साथ बैठो, right? अपने आप के साथ. जैसे मैंने 2 चीजें बोली, सुबह 5 मिनट या ये सॉलिट्यूड प्रैक्टिस करना है या प्रैक्टिस नथिंग करना है, ये आगे मैं और सेशंस में भी बताऊंगा. बट प्रोक्रास्टिनेशन के लिए आपका थॉट प्रोसेस, क्यों आपको वो क्या चीज है जो आपको प्रॉम्प्ट करती है कि मैं इसको नेक्स्ट अभी 10 मिनट में करूंगा, मैं कल कर लूंगा, राइट? देयर आर सर्टेन थिंग्स व्हिच आर गिविंग यू सर्टेन पुश, इजंट इट? दैट रूट कॉज needs to be find out.
Because what needs to be done needs more discipline and is not very interesting. And something else has come up and it's more interesting. So you said, चलो 5 मिनट ये कर लेते हैं, फिर वो करेंगे. होता नहीं है.
वो थॉट प्रोसेस कहाँ से आया, कहीं से आ रहा है ना वो थॉट प्रोसेस, राइट? कहीं किसी सोचने के तरीके से आ रहा है ना, जो कई चीजें तो लिमिटिंग बिलीफ से भी आती हैं, कुछ चीजें जो ठीक है इसको कर
Not
लेंगे।
being disciplined, I would say.
हाँ, ऑफ कोर्स डिसिप्लिन इज वन पार्ट, ऑफ कोर्स। सो डिसिप्लिन तो कब क्रिएट होगा, जब हैबिट क्रिएट होगी, राइट? सो नेचुरली वो हैबिट होगी, वो डिसिप्लिन की तरफ लेके जाएगी। ऑल राइट।
How do
Oh.
people, in the same 24 hours, they write books, they're traveling. I mean, it's amazing how they handle their time. Time
Yes.
management.
Yeah, time management is very important. Very, very important. Okay.
And the zero meditation.
Shunya wala.
Yeah, I know, but your thoughts will still be there.
Let the thoughts be there.
Yeah.
Let the thoughts be there. आप उसको करेक्ट करने की कोशिश नहीं करो, आप उसको the moment you start correcting your thoughts, let the thoughts come. और मैंने ऐसा भी एक्सपीरियंस किया है, मैं अपना ये पर्सनल एग्जांपल मैंने अभी भी शेयर किया था, एंड ये मैंने करके देखा है, और काफी वेवरिंग थॉट्स आते हैं। सबसे पहला थॉट तो ये था, जब मैं गाड़ी में जाके मेडिटेशन करता था, तो सबसे पहला थॉट तो ये आता था, यार ये आसपास के लोग आ रहे मुझे देखेंगे तो क्या कहेंगे, यही थॉट आता था सबसे पहले। अब मैं किसी तरह से उसको खत्म किया, देख रहे हैं, देखने तो क्या कर सकते हैं, राइट? लोग कहेंगे कि सो रहा है, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं। सो थॉट्स को एक्सेप्ट करना है। एट द मोमेंट यू स्टार्ट एक्सेप्टिंग द थॉट्स, नो देयर विल बी अ टाइम वेयर वो थॉट्स धीरे धीरे आने खत्म हो जाएंगे, धीरे धीरे आने बंद हो जाएंगे। तो हम एक बार शून्य मेडिटेशन भी नेक्स्ट सेशन में या आने वाले सेशंस में ट्राई करेंगे, जैसे विल फील कि एंड वी विल शेयर कि थॉट्स कैसे आ रहे हैं और कैसे कैसे मतलब उसको हम धीरे धीरे खत्म कर सकते हैं। मतलब उसमें आपने एफर्ट नहीं डालना है, प्रैक्टिस करना है, उस प्रोसेस में रहना है, एंड अल्टीमेटली यू विल सी दैट योर डिग्री ऑफ कमिंग और एक्सपीरियंसिंग थॉट्स विल डाई डाउन स्लोली। एकदम से तो नहीं होगा, एकदम से नहीं होगा, इट विल टेक टाइम।
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless. All the best.
Thank you, Sandeep ji.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, Ria. Please stop the live stream.
Thank you so much, sir. And people are saying great session on 5 minutes journaling and very enlightened.